who has been very instrumental this year in your class and in the organization. And she is currently, well, not currently, was the president of the Graduate Student Association. I'm living in two worlds. It's like this and past. Okay, Gina.
Thank you and welcome. If my hat seems a little crooked, there's about 11 people over there that can be blamed. My classmates will affirm that I've always done things a little differently. The other day when I told one of my out-of-town guests that I had been asked to speak this evening, she said, "Oh, are you the class valedictorian?" No, actually I'm not. So why am I standing here? Well, for the last year and a half, as Shelley mentioned, I've been the founding leader of our student organization here in Albuquerque. Reflecting on that experience, I can jokingly call myself the class Don Quixote. Miguel de Cervantes famously portrayed his literary hero as a hopeless idealist who got on his horse and bravely charged at windmills. The man of La Mancha was well known for seeing the world exactly as it wasn't. If one of us were to see him for therapy, we'd label him as delusional. My own rose-colored glasses aren't as thick as that. Life has taught me to be more of a realist. But I'll admit, I do share something significant in common with Quixote. I have an irresistible drive to create change. I almost can't help myself, in spite of well-intentioned warnings from those who might know better. But let me step back for a moment. What's important tonight is not to reflect on which social work values motivate me. Take some time to think about what moves you forward. After graduation, what is going to give your own life and work meaning every day? Get in touch with that. Name it and embrace it. Do social work with exuberance, richness, and joy. Make new mistakes every day and learn from them. Refuse to be stuck. For many of us, it has been difficult to learn about social work within an institution that is not exactly guided by the values of social work. But guess what? Most of us will find ourselves actually practicing social work in similar circumstances. It will be up to each of us as individuals to promote justice, human dignity, respect, empowerment, and integrity. When you sense that you are becoming cynical about your work, look to your peers and colleagues for guidance. Remember every day that ours is not a go-it-alone profession. Speaking of support, I'd like to address our guests for a moment. As family and friends, many of you have worked every bit as hard as we have over these past few years, keeping our households running, keeping the bills paid, putting gas in our cars, making sure we've been fed. On behalf of my entire class, I acknowledge what each of you has sacrificed so that we could prepare for careers in service to the broader community. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all that you've done. In 1968, student organizer Kent Keith, a sophomore at Harvard College, wrote a handbook for student leaders. He called it The Silent Revolution, Dynamic Leadership in the Student Council. As a part of his book, he included an anti-cynical code that he called the Paradoxical Commandments. As I share them with you, my wish is that you'll be reminded of why you chose to pursue the study and practice of social work. People are illogical, unreasonable, and self-centered. Love them anyway. If you do good, people will accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Do good anyway. If you are successful, you will win false friends and true enemies. Succeed anyway. The good you do today will be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. If you are honest and sincere, people may deceive you. Be honest and sincere anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, some may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The biggest men and women with the biggest ideas can be shot down by the smallest men and women with the smallest minds. Think big anyway. People favor underdogs but follow only top dogs. Fight for a few underdogs anyway. What you spend years building may be destroyed overnight, but build anyway. People really need help but may attack you if you do help them. Help people anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world your best anyway. Thank you, all of you, and I now introduce Senator Mark Boitano.